looked incredibly strong all year long and only kept getting stronger. And that is paying off right here, as OMO ABYSSINIAN is 2 match wins away from finding themselves in the grand finals as we enter our ban phase.
And it looks like Hoopa is gone. That may be a targeted ban against JR Absent, who's been an incredible support player throughout the day. Lapras on the other side, I would say a little bit more of a blanket ban. Looks like Miwa wants to get rid of that Greedent. I feel that, you know, can I get rid of some Greedents for my solo queue games, please? But these make sense. I do like some targeted bans. Once we get a little bit further in there, I mean, Hoopa just a great ban as well. So let's see what the first picks are.
First pick is going to be an Umbreon, and of course with Lapras off the table, a premier defender is Umbreon itself, and quickly locked in by OYASUMI Makuro.
It'll be interesting, actually, if we end up seeing, okay, I was going to say the Slowbro here because we've seen OMO ABYSSINIAN really prioritize this tree. I love the fact that they've been doing so well with it. Trevenant, Miwa in particular on that Pokemon, and then actually getting the Inteleon as well. We may be seeing Luis stick with that instead of the Mew this time around.
Well, the thing that's going on here, of course, is so many power Pokemon are still left, including the 2 that they are hovering right now. Zacian and Urshifu, just resident nightmares here in the Thea Sky Ruins, always giving the opposition trouble.
Yeah, but we did just see OMO ABYSSINIAN run against multiple games of the Urshifu plus Zacian combo, and they just dominated. So we are going to be seeing the pick of the Eldegoss and the Blastoise. The Blastoise can have a little bit of a tough time there, especially if it's going to be in that top half against the Zacian. That can be rough.
That can be very tough indeed. OYASUMI Makuro favoring this Espeon, hovering it again, locking in the Blissey for sure, and the Espeon as well. OMO ABYSSINIAN has a real opportunity here with the last pick, what I call the gutter pick, and it can be a great counter pick. And they see the Zoroark and they snatch that thing up.
That's undoubtedly going to be Schwa picking up that Pokemon. Been doing so well with it recently, and this is going to be definitely a brawl of a game. Just seeing these comps, you know that especially on the side of OYASUMI Makuro, they're going to want to be diving. On the other side, OMO ABYSSINIAN has shown that they are absolutely not afraid of challenging that over and over. So, I mean, when we get our casters in, it's going to be a lot for them, and I'm excited for it.
I'm expecting big plays out of Tempest here on this tree to set up Shua on the Zoroark as well, without a doubt. And Luis, who we just saw crack off with the Mew, picking up the Inteleon, another strong attacker ready to go. But this game is ready to go, so let's get our casters in here because they're ready to go. Kellosaurus, Zoinks, take it away.
Hello, we have another elimination match on our hands, and this is the difference between a bronze or a silver medal at the World Championships of Pokemon Unite in our second season. OMO ABYSSINIAN on an absolute heater run through this bracket, but they are going to be going up against some of the toughest competition we've seen yet.
A heater run indeed, but are they going to be able to keep up that heat going into this next match? I must say, looking at these team compositions, I feel like we are going to see all-out brawls happening.
Absolutely. I would be disappointed with anything else. These teams have shown that aggression is the name of their game, and it has been such an excellent match to watch. Here we go, Yokohama, Japan, excited for this match just as much as we are. And already we have P leveling up in that central area. Shua versus P is going to be the story of the match for me in particular. Their Urshifu on OYASUMI Makuro is absolutely incredible. I can't wait to see what they can do in this match.
It may have been incredible previously, but are they going to be able to keep up that momentum and really shine? Otherwise, this Zacian, this Chansey combo up in the top lane, it's quite scary. But then again, you have the Gossip Flirt with the red buff to slow down this Zacian. Can they get the KO? It ends up using its eject button, the tackle, to try and catch on up. But no, it managed to make it back to base and get those shields.
Yeah, the resource they did steal away from that Zacian, though, is that eject button. So some early game aggression will be available for OMO ABYSSINIAN, knowing that escape tool is not there for them. He on this blue Shifu, the rapid strike Urshifu, is looking to get an early knockout, but Shua and them just exchange blows and immediately retreat back, trying to get some positioning for this first 850 fight.
Just a little bit of a respect there, not wanting to engage just yet, as we do have some experience on the map, but the Eevee ends up getting denied any of that and wasn't able to evolve. Thankfully, it was able to grab that with the experience share, and now they are at their full evolution. But look, we have Shua on the hunt. Thankfully, there was a green berry there for the Urshifu to make a quick escape.
Yeah, Shua hunting down that chase. And what we are seeing from Oyasumi Makuro so far is just the identity of that Japan region. They are a snowbally region. They play very low evolution Pokemon that can get to their power spikes quick, and then they try to run over top of their opponents. OMO ABYSSINIAN, though, playing a bit more late scaling, and great play by J Rabson. They're going to make it out of danger. That defender and support, not too much of a threat to this Eldegoss. They get some information, and they escape back to their team.
Information is key. You just have to have your eyes on where all of your opponents are. But look at this. We have 3 birds for this is Urshifu right now for OYASUMI Makuro.
Yeah, some great experience going there. Also, really cool stat card we saw on the bottom of our screen. OMO ABYSSINIAN having so many game 3s, having a huge match record, over 10 wins to their name. But here we go, the defense around the goal zone. OYASUMI Makuro getting a few stacks in, but immediately trying to retreat. Poor Blissey caught up. He's in a tough spot there, and there goes the support.
There goes the support, and there goes the defense as well, along with the Zacian as well. 4 members of OMO ABYSSINIAN, they are looking to take this tier 1 pad. But I must say, Urshifu is putting up quite the fight, using those kicks to try and defend. Can they stop them? Yes, they did.
Yeah, great stop there. Great defense from Oyasumi Makuro. The Blissey finally returning meant that he could fight a little bit more aggressively and finally have the HP to work with. However, thanks to OMO ABYSSINIAN winning a couple of fights in a row, their War Turtle is already at level 7 at that 7-minute mark. Of course, they won a Blastoise for that first team fight. However, it's a pretty solid advantage to have this late game scaling Pokemon already at this break point.
Oh, definitely. But otherwise, since there is no Hooper on the map, everyone has to use their legs to go down to these objectives.
The old-fashioned way.
Exactly. We can see that OMO ABYSSINIAN, they were able to take advantage of this Reggie Alecki. 2 members up there. All the meantime, we have Zacian trying to shred down this Reggie steal for themselves. Or Eldegoss lurking. Can they get the steal? No. It ends up being the Espeon.
Great play there from Oyasumi's Espeon. That is Mame. Of course, we all know this name from tournaments past, last year's World Championships. Mame put on an absolute show, and this tournament is no exception. In the top 3 position, again, Oyasumi Makuro has had a fantastic tournament, and now they are trying to go up against Luminosity Gaming in that grand finals.
That, they have their eye on the prize, right? They want to go up against Luminosity, but they have to get through these matches first.
Every single match from this point on is going to be an elimination game, and we have 3 different regions vying over this title. Any team that goes home means that their region's hopes end with them. Oyasumi Makuro, of course, going to be representing Japan. And this initial team fight from Shua looking good so far. A ton of damage onto Umbreon, but the Blissey plus Umbreon combo is just too much HP for them to cut through.
Yes, that was great support there coming from you, making sure to provide those eggs and just regenerate. But there we go. We have a bit of a brawl in the top half, and Urshifu takes down that Blastoise.
A great little 1v1 win, and that's going to be a whole lot of scoring in the top half. Oyasumi Makuro really needed that. Great wood hammer, stunning up 3 members of Oyasumi Makuro, but unfortunately, no follow-up from the rest of OMO ABYSSINIAN. Shua trying to take this 1v1. They want a bit of a rematch here in the top half, but they're going to lose it. Unite move used from Yi, and that rapid strike Urshifu is going to take 1, but now they have to face another challenger.
Yes, they have to brawl that Blastoise over again as it has respawned, but look at this, the Trevenant using those Horn Leech just up here, ignoring that Flux Zone, getting another KO on that Blastoise. No revenge just yet.
The crowd explodes for a KO from the side of Japan as a goal zone break from Oyasumi Makuro happens, but OMO ABYSSINIAN is turning this team fight in the bottom half into their favor, and Egg Bomb plus Station is not enough to chase down Oyasumi Makuro, playing this one safe, waiting for reinforcements as OMO ABYSSINIAN has all the space, and they have an initial KO to start this team fight.
Yes, but they also have that Blastoise Hydro Typhoon on hand if needed. You know what? It's not needed. They just shredded it up.
Yeah, saving that Unite move is actually going to be pivotal. You want to use it in big team fights, and the way Viva has been playing so far this tournament, I think they are going to be excellent at just that. Sweet goes in deep, but it's only going to be Blastoise to try to cut them off. Not enough damage. Oyasumi Makuro has their eyes on this goal zone break right now, but Tempest's defense around has been solid. Hornleaf brings Umbreon in, stun onto the Espeon, but Japan has let the Regieleki go in, and they are scoring multiple times in the top half.
There is just a whole nother story happening in that top half between that Urshifu. But look at this brawl that is happening in that bottom half, trying to just push out flows left, right, and center here, getting in more dunks, and it is now 200 to 107 in favor of Oyasumi Makuro.
But while those scores happen, Shua absolutely popping off here in the bottom half. We are going to have a 40-point overdone from OMO ABYSSINIAN, and that's going to give them the lead. But Kello, it is only by 1 point.
1 point, zoinks. That is so close. And this just shows the caliber of these plays. But Oshifu looks to be collapsed on in by Oyasumi. They pop their Unite move, but it wasn't enough, and they do get taken down. I don't think there was no escape from there.
Yeah, a trade 1-for-1 in that scenario, but just look at the respawn timer on B. Over 20 seconds when they went down. Obviously having an amazing game, sitting at level 14 for them. The comeback experience at OMO ABYSSINIAN is going to be looking pretty good right there, with maybe a bit of an overextension for Oyasumi Makuro. However, look at this position. They find Tempest, Umbreon and Zacian chasing down that knockout, but Tempest finds a way to get out. Shua wants to capitalize on that damage, and Zacian goes down. Sui is out of this team fight, and a little engagement. OMO ABYSSINIAN takes the victory in.
They do take that victory. Regieleki is about to spawn. They are circling around. They are possibly looking to shred this and create a little bit more pressure leading into the final stretch.
Yeah, they're going to get this one for absolutely free. Oyasumi Makuro not putting up a stop to this whatsoever. Instead, prioritizing the levels on their Urshifu. That is a level 15. We headed into this final fight. Only level 13's on the other side, but the way Shua has been playing Zoroark in this game so far, I think you have to be terrified of that specific speedster in this final fight.
Look, that is not the only Pokemon that I am terrified of. You know what? I'm terrified of a lot of these. But here we go. The final stretch is here. Liquidation does end up being popped on out. Trevenant pushing back that Umbreon with that Hornlink. Can they get the last hit? No, Blissey is there by its side to help it survive.
A lot of support Unite moves used already. Both the Eldegoss Higher Typhoon hits nobody. Almost not able to follow up on that. However, Tempest does land the Trevenant Unite move, but Umbreon is able to escape. They are not going to be knocked out. Sweet chasing down Unite move from the Zacian, and the Eldegoss also escapes. Zacian tries to pivot back, but a Unite move from Shua is going to take out Sweet. They now have an advantage, 5-4 in this final stretch.
But look at the HP pools of OMO ABYSSINIAN right now. They are super duper low. Blissey trying their hardest to just regenerate that health. We have Umbreon trying to be that tank, get into that front line, get in those stuns.
Great knockout by Mame, and now the positional advantage is completely over to Oyasumi Makuro. However, Shua has found a way into the Rayquaza pit. They're trying to do some initial damage, but only at half HP. They are so squishy. Mame drops that SP on a Unite move, Psychic Solaire, perhaps absolutely no one. A double stun from the Umbreon. That's a problem. And there we go. Mame follows up with a big KO.
Oh, but there's an Eldegoss here. No, they didn't. It ends up being the Espeon that gets the secure, and you can hear the crowd go wild for Oyasumi Makuro.
Enough about the crowd. I'm going wild, Kello. Mame getting a huge secure, and now Oyasumi Makuro is going to rack up a gigantic score lead. 1, because of the race secure. 2, because of an amazing team fight win. As 5 members of OMO ABYSSINIAN were down, they are slowly going to be respawning back into this game. But with with just under 500 point lead, Oyasumi Makuro has dominated and won this game number 1.
It is game number 1 after all, but you know what? They did put on a spectacular show. This Oshifu, it is not finished. It wants to get more KOs.
He has been absolutely phenomenal on this pick in particular. A Pokemon that has really defined the metagame of the World Champions. And Oyasumi Makuro are now at match point in the Losers Finals, having their chance to go up against Luminosity Gaming and Grant. It's within their grasp, but let's send it over to our analysts to break down that game number 1.
Oh, I can tell you, I've never, ever, I've said this before, but never heard this crowd so loud. For anybody out there who doesn't know, we're standing right next to the Japanese casters. They're on their feet right now. They've got the chairs. They are just electric. They are screaming their heads off.
Well, Oyasumi Makuro on that revenge arc, trying to get back to LG, the team that sent them down. Coincidentally, both of these teams, as you mentioned, were sent to this losers bracket by LG. Both kind of them on a revenge arc. However, Oyasumi Makuro 1 step closer. You can see after a convincing team fight at Ray in a narrowly close game, they absolutely skyrocket that score.
Yeah, look how flat that line is right there. That was as close as it gets. This is a top team match for sure. And look what we can contribute that to 107K from P.
You highlight that, I'll highlight the thing that I always do. You may, of course, Blissey over 90,000 damage healed, and that really allowed P to go in, of course. Let's take a look at how this game 1 shook out.
That's right. Behind every good carry, there's a good support. That's what they say. That's a saying now. I'm making it true. But
Sounds
yeah,
good.
yeah, sure. No, honestly, this was a pretty heavy level lead altogether on the side of OYASUMI Makuro for a good amount of the time, and so much of it was being able to get even level 15 very, very early. You can just see kind of a highlight reel here of just KO into KO. It's like, yeah, what are you trying to do? You're trying to stop me from scoring? You want to give me more points? Thank you very much.
Nobody's safe in that speed flux zone on a rapid strike Urshifu. That's just the truth. Now, Shua had a good little push there, getting a KO streak of 2 themselves, and that was one of the pushes that allowed them to balance the scoreboard.
Oh, yeah, that was at least, I mean, a good attempt. There were a lot of really great fights. Obviously, this was a very, very close match, and this was, like I said, a huge level deficit. You can see right here, even, this was the level 15 already. Urshifu was level 15 for quite a while. Nobody ever caught up, really, on the side of OMO ABYSSINIAN, but in this final fight, I mean, that was, of course, what really decided, and gosh, this took so long to even start.
Yeah, I mean, the Zacian was picked by OMO ABYSSINIAN early, but it took so long for them to flip onto the Ray or make something happen that Zacian came right back and took right over.
Yeah, it was a scary spot. They were just trying to play safe. You know, they're trying to make sure that they didn't make any big mistakes right there, but it may have been just a little bit too long, and that means that now, like was mentioned, this is going to be match point for OYASUMI Makuro NP on the Urshifu, of course, with, I mean, not only a huge amount of damage, but a huge amount of score as well.
Yeah, about, I don't know, a fourth of their points with that score.
Position on both sides.
But I guess this will also give these teams to readjust their builds and everything, making sure that everything is correct. But as we said, you know, same draft, the Urshifu and the Hooper ban.
I honestly wish I didn't tell the folks at home that, because I would look absolutely like a genius if I just predicted everything. I think we're probably going to see an Umbreon pick here, maybe a Blissey. Ah, there it is. Wow, I'm really killing it up here. But yeah, of course, we're going to see these two compositions that were chosen in drafts show up again on the main stage. This Lapras Trevenant, of course, and we're going to see a bit later, is joined by an Eldegoss in this composition, which both of those Pokemon, with any bit of damage reduction from Pollen Puff, are pretty terrifying threats to deal with. Defenders with that much damage reduction and HP? Oh my word, Kello.
Oh my word indeed. But one thing I want to see is this Goodra, as we have highlighted, does have that build, the Slick Spoon, Aeos Cookie, along with the Focus Band, just to give it that little bit more sustain.
Goodra has been used in some really interesting ways so far today. I think 0-0 Nation probably showing the best Goodra that we saw on the main stage at the very least, and they had a very interesting take on it. They were running that Acid Spray Muddy Water combination, and it seemed like it was their best option into the Zacian on the other side. It was an interesting counter pick there. However, you're going into Leafeon and Glaceon as kind of the two offensive threats you're worried about. I feel like Goodra is going to be more of a, more utilizing that Power Whip build in this scenario. At least that's how I would play it up if I was OYASUMI Makuro's coach. However, I do not have those qualifications or even close to them, Kello. So where you're going to trust the roster of OYASUMI Makuro to take care of it?
Zoinks is looking for a team, guys. He wants to become a pro player in next year's World Championships, maybe. Maybe he's looking to coach, who knows?
Yeah, that'd be a whole lot of fun, and I'm sorry to whatever team tries to accept that offer. But these two teams, OMO ABYSSINIAN and OYASUMI Makuro, both have a chance at becoming champions today, Kello. Obviously, they have to be proud of their accomplishments so far. That goes without saying. But these teams are unrelenting when it comes to chasing that championship title. The world spot, that world's first place, the $100,000 prize pool is still on the line. Let's get into game number 2.
Game number 2 of OYASUMI Makuro versus OMO ABYSSINIAN. I cannot wait.
It's gonna be so fantastic on this Zacian this game around, where so many times before we have seen them on that Urshifu. Target banned by OMO ABYSSINIAN. Is that gonna be enough to slow down this star player?
Look, it's still early days here. We need to make sure that we get their levels, get those stacks in. The Solar Blade of that Leafeon just being so deadly.
Yeah, Lou's already hitting that Leafeon evolution, by the way. Things must have gone absurdly fantastic in those early pathing moments. Mame hitting level 4, getting into that tall grass for that passive. However, the Zacian chase down of the Lapras is going to be tough for OMO ABYSSINIAN to deal with, but they're turning around on Mame. Focus Band starts proccing. They're back up to almost full HP. This Pokemon is all about that HP bar.
All about that HP bar, because that is what keeps you up, but we need to get those levels. We do have Abyssinian now online, and it is going to be able to provide that HP we were talking about.
Exactly. You want to give it to Gudra, you want to give it to Zacian. Both of those are hungry Pokemon that want to have that support from their support player. A great Lapras play early. Glaceon from that Shua getting in a ton of damage from range, and Mame's going to go down. No focus ban. We saw that prompt earlier. They do not have that defensive item off of cooldown. The Blissey's going to take a lot of damage, but great hunt down. Shua chases that one, and they're going to come away with 2 KOs in that engagement.
Look, I know the Zacian is usually the one that does the hunt downs, but this Glaceon on its tail getting those knockouts with those icy spears.
OMO Abyssinian taking their early game power spike Pokemon of Leafeon and Glaceon and using them to full effect to chase down Mame, who still was just that Goomy a moment ago. Lapras in charge of defending this goal zone. Some small stacks going in. Every dunk from this Gudra is another Ao's cookie stack, and it gets even stronger with each one.
Even stronger, even tankier, even harder to take on down.
Harder? I can't believe it! This Pokemon has so many defensive resources, and with that Ao's cookie, it's just going to be getting better and better. Leafeon trying to play outside of this Umbreon's range of vision, but OMO Abyssinian have earned themselves a decent amount of space. Great call out by Jay Ramson with that Pollen Puff. They identified the Zacian was in that tall grass, called it up for their team, put that Pollen Puff on, and OYASUMI Makuro had to bail.
Yes, they had to bail. They're just playing it safe, making sure to get eyes on the squad here before going in for an engage. We just have a little bit of a wonder, trying to go and see if they can pinch this Voltoy off this Eldegoss, and they do.
It feels like in the game number 1, we had 4 or 5 1v1 team fights by this point in the game. So far, we have only had one, and OMO Abyssinian had that one go in their credit. Jay Rapson just playing around Lev Up here, keeping vision on them, but of course, making it so that Lev Up can't just push into their enemy and have a free flank. Great support positioning by Jay Rapson.
Alrighty, we do have a Registeel that has spawned on the map along with that Regieleki up in that top part, but Blissey is looking to be in a bit of trouble. The glacial stage is set. Can they get these KOs? Miva is also on their tail, knocking out that Blissey.
The Parasong is there, and Inteleon is going to be the one to secure Registeel. So OYASUMI Makuro may have given up a knockout of the support Pokemon in that central area, but I don't think they're worried in the slightest since they were able to secure their objective. But Leafeon swinging the other way. Lewis with a huge Solar Blade knockout, taking out that Inteleon.
Yes, they do take out the Inteleon. Is the Zacian going to be next as that Hornleech comes on out? But they were able to eject on out. Maybe it ends up, no, it ends up being the Umbreon that gets taken down and grabbing some, no, yeah, they are going to grab some berries. But you know what, all the meantime, we have Leafeon getting in some dunks.
Never count out OMO Abyssinian from a team fight when Tempest is still a part of that engagement. Ridiculous defender play so far all day, and the Shrevenant looking the same. They swing in a great Inteleon knockout, but Leafeon is there to trade. Lewis is now caught out in a little bit of danger. Liquidation does so much damage, but the Eldegoss is going to be there for support. But there we go, a huge play by Miva in the top path to earn a KO, and more Lapras stacks on the top path. OMO Abyssinian with a huge score lead right now.
There is just so much happening in this match. There is so much at stake right now. We have OYASUMI Makuro up on 1. OMO Abyssinian, they have to win this next one. I feel like, you know what, 179 to 45, it is still early days, but they are holding quite the lead.
One of the biggest talking points around OMO Abyssinian was their lack of experience on the main stage, but they are clutch when their backs are against the wall. They are proving everybody wrong in those scenarios. Big engage by Lewis, the Emerald 2-step on top of Queen, and they're going to get the knockout. A huge 1v1 KO, and that sets the pace for the rest of OMO. They charge forward. That is 4 KOs in total. Only Mame going to be hanging out, and Lewis has got their eye on them.
And they're going to make sure to do their quick math, get in some dunks, create some space for this basement Reggie that is about to spawn.
Abyssinian with some incredible macro game, taking individual team fight wins, but also winning these big rotations. Tempest getting a huge stun down. Miva hit by a few of those stuns. However, their HP pool on that was able to get away. Great little play by Eldegoss to absorb the last few hits of that liquidation, making sure that Miva can still be a part of this fight. Mame is caught in the Parasong, and Glaceon finds that final hit knockout. Registeel brought down to a fraction of its HP, and Zacian is going to secure it. Great last hit by Pui.
Now this is the comeback experience experience that Oyasumi Makuro were needing. They needed to get that Registeel buff, obviously having that benefit of the extra attack here. We are going in for an engage. No, we are going to back on out.
Wow, even a Registeel buff Swede on that Inteleon wasn't able to get the chase down knockout. Tempest able to live through so many of these engagements. Both goal zones, first tier goal zones available for OMO Abyssinian in these final moments. We're 2 minutes away from the final stretch, but if those goal zones remain, they are very easy to defend. But there we go. Finally, a 1v1 team fight goes away from OYASUMI Makuro, but not for so long. That chase out Unite move, though, back the other way. But Glaceon shuts it down. Glacial Stage finds that one.
I don't know if that was a smart idea going for that Zacian to go back into that fight, as it ended up getting wiped out. It was on such low HP, but you know what? They thought they were Zacian, we can take it on. All the meantime, we do have OMO taking down this Regieleki, trying to secure and capture it for their team.
Yeah, Regieleki will be secured by OMO Abyssinian. Is going to be walking towards that second tier goal zone. Big engagement by the Umbreon, though. They try to take Tempest towards the rest of their team. Mame is the next one to rush in, trying to utilize their big body to do a ton of damage. Muddy Water pulls back in Tempest, and that's a big KO. That's the front line, or at least half of it gone for OMO Abyssinian, but they're still putting up a defense, Kello.
They are putting up a defense, and this is why I absolutely love to see a power whip on a Gudra. Can they keep the sustain, especially with that Blissey by their side, but the Solar Blade ends up knocking them out, well, alongside the Lapras.
Yeah, it puts them within range of that Parasong, right? That burst damage is something that Gudra normally doesn't mind. Oh my word! A 4-player Solar Blade. No KOs, but that's flashy. That's going in a highlight package later, I guarantee it.
Oh, I bet, but you know what? Level 13 Glaceon right now. They are looking mighty. On the opposite side, we have a level 13 Inteleon.
Would you believe me if I told you OMO Abyssinian is down 1-0 in this match right now? They are playing like they know every single one of Oyasumi Makuro's tricks, and they are having an amazing game. Registeel is going to be going over completely to the side of OMO Abyssinian. However, a big flank here by Levup on this Umbreon. They have good positioning. Mame trying to get in there as well. Mame pinned up against the wall. So many Trevenant stuns, and Mame's down. Glaceon finds that last hit. Quick trades, though. They find the Eldegoss. J-Rapson is gone before the Cotton Cloud crash is used.
It is a 4v4 currently, and the final stretch, the Rayquaza has been in range, and look at that Phantom Forest from that Trevenant to just knock him up. We have Umbreon getting taken down, and now they are on the hunt, seeing if they can get any extra KOs. The Zacian diving on deep, but Leafeon is able to use their Unite and get out some damage. Can they finish it off? Glaceon gets another knockout as well.
We received that Blitz assistance, but the damage from OMO Abyssinian, it was able to top even that. Mame is back, though, and that is a healthy Gudra at level 12 with some very aggressive positioning. OMO Abyssinian needs to take it slow. However, they still have the Eldegoss Unite move. If the attrition is the name of the game here, the support play is going to be there. There it is. Cotton Cloud crash. Bringing everyone back up to full HP, and Tempest pulls away the Inteleon. A big start to this team fight.
Yes, that is a great start, taking down that backline damage. You only have a defender and support here. We have Mame also being taken down. This Lapras is on a roll.
This double defender composition from OMO Abyssinian has been so fantastic so far, but can the Zacian be the answer to it? Kui getting in range, the Sacred Sword going to hit absolutely nobody, and they're going to try to move towards the top end of that Rayquaza. Maybe threatening a back half, maybe threatening a last hit on the Rayquaza. Either way, OMO Abyssinian is holding all the cards right now.
They are really holding on tight. They are down almost 200 points, but Zacian ends up getting knocked out, and Inteleon is in a bit of a pickle as it is getting troubled by a Trevenant pushing in.
Tempest has made their mission to specifically take down Sweet on this Inteleon. Every single time they are chasing them down. Tempest with an amazing defender game so far, and we're having a bit of a 1v1 there. Again, the Inteleon says only be acrobatics away, but there's the chase down by Shrua. A great Icicle Spear finds that KO. Mame going to be down to the Parasong again. Who cares how much HP you have if you are underneath that execute bar of the Lapras? OMO Abyssinian hold on to their lead, and they are going to be tying up this losers finals 1-1. APAC is 8 out of it yet.
This is why these teams are in the top 3. They have the power. They want to show it. They are not going down easily.
Oh my word, I would not call that easily whatsoever. What a fight by OMO Abyssinian. You see Lewis there on stage taking a sigh of relief because that dream is still alive for OMO. What a game from them. Miva and Tempest playing so phenomenally, and Shua putting on the best Glaceon performance we have seen on stage, full stop.
Full will stop indeed. But first, we need to look at this graph. Look at the dominant performance that OMO Abyssinian had.
And with no Hoopa on their team either, right? That has been Jay Rapson's bread and butter, which has given them a huge macro advantage in so many of these matches. But having that score lead, despite not having that, is a massive. And there we go. Take a look at the damage numbers. Miva and Shua, ice types looking real good on the side of OMO.
They are looking to ice out OYASUMI Makuro right here. But Yume, obviously, they were by their side. 93 recovery.
So much HP recovered. We gotta take another look at that match. We had a lot of question marks around the draft screen of OYASUMI Makuro, but a whole lot of check marks on the side of OMO ABYSSINIAN, and you can see in this match exactly how it played out.
How long is that list, those links, to tick them off?
Exactly. I mean, it's a laundry list. It's going real deep. OMO ABYSSINIAN. Honestly, we were talking about how they were winning teamfight after teamfight. I don't know if we talked enough about how OMO was also winning 1v1 after 1v1, and I honestly think that has been kind of the definition of the metagame that we have seen, where so many split pushes are defined by these 2v2 engagements, these 1v1 engagements, and OMO ABYSSINIAN looking absolutely clean on the day. Early Leafeon play, so strong.
So strong, especially in this Ray pit right now. They were able to put up the defenses, but also protect both of those tier 1 paths.
Yes, exactly. And again, without that Hoopa, the quick defense not available for them, OYASUMI Makuro just could not find an angle for the comeback, and a lot of that is because this player of the game, Miva's Lapras, absolutely unreal. Not only 6-digit damage, but 78,000 damage taken. This Pokemon was up, and it was ready to fight.
That Perish song is stuff of nightmares. You do not want to come across it, especially when you are at such low HP. Just being able to finish them off, but you know what? Game 3, Zoinks. OYASUMI Makuro versus OMO ABYSSINIAN. Here we go.
Only one of these teams will keep their championship dreams alive. The other will go home in that 3rd place spot. OYASUMI Makuro going to be banning away the Umbreon. OMO ABYSSINIAN, they know better. They are banning away that Urshifu.
Look, the first game that they obviously had, they do not want to come across it again. But interestingly enough, this does leave it open for Lapras to be picked on up first pick.
Yeah, OYASUMI Makuro finally having their chance to grab this amazing defender Pokemon. There it is, locked in for the side of OYASUMI Makuro. OMO ABYSSINIAN, though, obviously going to grab this Trevenant. Tempest has been absolutely unstoppable on this pick in particular, and Hoopa grabbed again. Jay Rapson back on that comfort pick.
Look, if it's not banned, you're going to take it and lock it in. But I must say, Tempest on the Trevenant, though, they have been spectacular. But on the other side, we can see Mami Herbert hovering over that Inteleon and picking up that Blissey as well.
Wow, okay, so this is going to be an extremely powerful bottom path no matter what. When you have access to Sobble and Drizzle's Water Gun, it's an amazing secure tool. They are going to have a fantastic showing there. However, Lewis is bringing the Leafeon back to the fight into that bottom path. That was such an electric one to watch.
You know what? Another electric pick is this Glaceon. Shua has really shined on through, but this does leave these last 2 picks on the side of OYASUMI Makuro. We do have Blastoise and, I believe, yes it is, a Zacian once again.
It's going to be a Zacian. OYASUMI Makuro really throwing all of their strategy towards a final team fight. Lapras Unite, Bliss Unite, Blastoise, Hydro Typhoon. So many of these keys could be the success they need in a final stretch scenario. OMO ABYSSINIAN going to grab another defender, so going to stick to this double defender strategy that they have been playing so far. I really like it. Not having the Lapras, though, is going to be tough for Miva to deal with. They're going to be locking in that Slowbro, though. We'll have to see if they can pop off the same way as they did in that game 2.
Well, it's all going to come down to that Slowbro. Who is it going to target? Is it going to target the Zacian? Is it going to target the Inteleon? It all depends on the positioning and whether they can pull it off. But look at this. We do have a bit of a switch up. We actually have Tempest on the Slowbro this time. Oh, no, they've switched it back again. They're just trying to trick me. Keep me on our toes.
Lots of tricks coming out of OMO ABYSSINIAN. Let's hope they saved a few up their sleeve for this game number 3. We are in elimination time in our losers finals. 2nd place or a chance, or 3rd place or a chance at a championship. Right now, these 2 teams are loading in, and I cannot wait for this match to start, Kello.
Oh, I bet OYASUMI Makuro, they want to go up against the grand finalist, Luminosity. But will OMO ABYSSINIAN, will they get their chance?
I mean, they are going to be wanting to have their chance, of course, but just as much as Oyasumi Makuro. OMO ABYSSINIAN, they are playing for the heart of their region. But if I'm going to talk about a team playing for their region, it's Oyasumi Makuro, who are playing in front of a home crowd here in Yokohama, Japan. This crowd is full of supporters for this Japanese region. Let's see if they can go.
Yes, you can hear the crowd clapping as this match is underway. We can see that Zacian is going to take that central area. Otherwise, we do have the dual water Pokemon taking that bottom path.
Yeah, we were having a bit of a slow road debate in where that Unite move tends to go. I think it has to be on that Zacian, and if you can get it before that Unite move pops, and if you can outplay the Bliss assistance, those are two big ifs though, that would be a huge team fight win.
Too many ifs to question. You do not know what can happen. We do have that Chansey backing on out, making sure to grab that Voltoid. They want to get their heals ASAP so they can support their team as much as possible.
Absolutely. Lewis here again with that full chlorophyll stack there, so the Solar Blade going to be hitting for a whole lot of damage. Boosted auto as well. Already hitting that level 4. They're going to find Secure, but there we go. Oyasumi Makuro starting things off early at 9-10. They already find 1 KO, and Mame trying to get in 1 stack. They do, but they are going to be in too much danger. A KO slides the other way. J. Rapson picks that one up, but Mame does find 1 stack, and he is already almost at level 6.
But the thing is, they do not have a Lapras that they need to come against. But Zacian's Sacred Sword to just wipe it on out. OMO ABYSSINIAN didn't even have a chance to take any of that experience.
And that's why you aggressively push. Make sure that Zacian gets to that breakpoint level and gets access to that incredible move of the Sacred Sword. Great little micro play by Oyasumi Makuro. Here we go. First engagement goes to them. OMO ABYSSINIAN looking to try to even the score.
Well, can I just say, level 7 Zacian already. This is insane. We do have Mame making sure to get in some extra stacks. They want to get those special, I believe it was special attack specs, stacks on up.
Yeah, exactly. So much damage can come out of this Lapras. We see 100,000 damage gains from them quite easily. Mame takes a whole lot of damage, though. That Scald plus Ice School Spear combination is so powerful. Hoopa goes down the other way, and again, a knockout for Pui is a bigger experience lead on that Pokemon again and again. This Pokemon is easily going to be at that level 8 mark. They just find it, and they have a minute to get to their Unite move before the first baseman, Reggie.
But the question is, are they going to be able to find enough experience on their map, or are they just going to take these rolls out? But no, is it going to get caught on out? No, it does end up using that agility to back on, down, and try and escape. Oh my gosh, the eject button and Woodhammer, they weren't able to finish it off, but that was a great attempt.
Aggressive play, trying to punish the greediness of Pui there, who's trying to get in stack to earn that level 9 that we just mentioned. That's a last hit secure for them. Easily a Unite move going to be online for Zacian here in a moment. Oh, so close to that level 9. Great little play, trying to play around the Swablu Altarians, but there it is. That fabled level 9 is here for this Fairy Steel.
Now, the thing is, OMO ABYSSINIAN, they do have 2 evolutions on their side. Getting that level 8, they do not need to get level 9 to get their Unite moves. Leafeon has it in check.
A great point there on your screen. You can see that little yellow pip above the Pokemon's face, meaning they have that Unite move prepped and ready to go. Registeel damage is done early by OMO ABYSSINIAN, but they got to take this Hoopa portal to reset their HP. Engaged by Tempest. However, that Sacred Sword damage with those 2 hits in a row deals so much damage in the other direction. Registeel walks very far. Yeah, it's going to leash back and earn its HP.
Did you just see? The Registeel just knocked up that Trevenant, so it couldn't even go back into that portal. Thankfully, there was a berry that Hoopa provided, and they were able to at least get some regen. They do get the reset there, but also the Registeel ends up going for a reset too.
Yeah, Registeel's doing a lot of work in this team fight, but Emerald Two-Step going to find that first knockout. War Turtle is down. OMO ABYSSINIAN strikes first, but Mame strikes back in the top half, by the way. Going to get more stacks up there. Registeel brought down to about half HP. Tempest trying to shut down this Zacian. They find them, they Hornlix, they Woodhammer, but now Shua needs to try to get strike, but it's the Solar Blade that finds it, and all of OMO is going to be able to reset.
Yes, they are going to reset. They are trying to get the hits, but they ended up pushing him. They are locked up against the wall here. Another berry for that Zacian to get that sustain, and there are no KOs. Oh wait, no, I take that back. Inteleon KO.
Shout out to Yume for being an incredible support player, keeping up everybody happy and healthy, and they're actually going to find a KO in a J. Rapson, but OMO ABYSSINIAN was able to strike back the other direction for 1 KO. Oyasumi Makuro taking the better part of that exchange, though, as they knocked out 2 members of OMO. Tempest trying to slow down Pui again, but at level 10, it's already get the knockout. Plus assistance from across the battlefield is going to be supporting. Great play from this Japanese squad. Slow beam monetization, though. No Bliss assistance to protect, and that means the Solar Blade can find the KO.
Yes, it was such a great Bliss assistance. Unfortunately, against 4 members of OMO Abyssinian, it was not enough to sustain that Zacian.
Yume really wanted 2 of those. If they could utilize both, obviously that team fight sliding the other way, but great macro decisions from OMO Abyssinian. Takes one fight, they lose a little, but they leverage it back for a big swing, knowing that Unite move is off. Amazing play from Miva on this slow bro. I think for the first time we've seen them recently on this Pokemon, and they are proving that they are masters of it.
They are masters indeed, because they have a 50, they're actually behind currently.
Yeah, not very many stacks going in. I mean, all of these team fights have been great, but they've only been getting 1 or 2 knockouts. That's not enough room to score onto these goal zones. OYASUMI Makuro has been holding on to a lead. However, it's not very large at all, right? We're looking at around 40, 44 points or so. So OYASUMI Makuro holding on to the lead. OMO Abyssinian, though, having a pretty fantastic early game, but Zacian is hitting that level 11. I got a feeling we got to keep bringing up just another level check on that Zacian.
It doesn't matter. Leafeon is able to match it with a level 11 as well.
Exactly, yeah, it's a great point there, Kello. Scald goes onto the Blissey. That's going to be a slowing effect on Yume. However, they are going to be able to escape for a moment, but not too long, as a slow row auto attack is going to find that KO. Great play by Miva. Hydro Typhoon is going to knock up a couple, but a big scoring push from OMO Abyssinian in that top path. Hoopa Unite move there from J. Rapson, bringing the whole squad and getting a couple of huge stuns. Great capitalization by the team of OMO Abyssinian, and they trade 1 away, but they have gotten so many KOs the other direction. Can Yume and Kui defend this goal zone?
I do not know. They do have to pop down a Hooper portal here, but we have Tempest diving in deep, just trying to create some space for the rest of OMO Abyssinian to take this Wrench Ice. But we do have the Blissey trying to take them on, but no chance against that Slowbro.
Yeah, I mean, both supporting Pokemon trying to earn time. Oh, Scald almost securing that Reggie, but Zacian is going to be able to grab it. OYASUMI Makuro earns themselves a basement Reggie, and that scoreline is going to be currently tied 1-1 for both of these teams. And again, neither team able to break 100 points yet. All of these fights have been great, but nothing enough to leverage a push towards a goal zone.
This is why these teams are in the top 3 right now. The amount that they are able to match each other level for level, point for point, it is actually so close right now.
Power rankings are out the window, storylines are out the window. What matters right now is what happens in these final 3 minutes. Both of these teams have fought tooth and nail to make it into this moment, and they are playing like champions in their own right in our game number 3. Amazing play so far. Mame does not find that score. Great defensive play by Shua. This Icicle Spear proving to be such a powerful goal zone defensive tool.
Look, they are champions of their region, but can they be the champions of the world? They obviously have to overcome this first stepping stone here. We have Reggie Alecki that has spawned on up, but it looks like they're going to prioritize all of these wild Pokemon that are here to make sure to get those levels, get the Unite moves on hand, because Hoopa is still missing theirs.
This matchup has been the slow and steady one, but you're right, they're going to need to take a little bit longer to find those Unite moves. Tempest can't play their normal aggressive strategy they were hoping for that time around. You may look at a reset, and they do! Great little Egg Bomb to stop the reset through the Hoopa portal, and the second one not going to quite make it. There we go, the Tempest is going to be back in that home base, and OYASUMI Makuro having all the positioning they could have ever wanted around this Rayquaza.
But positioning might not be the key. We have seen that table be flipped on over. They do have the Zacian going and poking at this Rayquaza, trying to chip it on down. We have Inteleon targeting that Slowbro up in that top.
Yeah, and Miva's actually going to have to reset, but we need to watch where that Slowbro chooses to use that Unite move. That Slow Beam obviously is going to be important, but the rest of the team is going to need to capitalize on it as well. OMO Abyssinian earning themselves a little bit of space thanks to a great split push from their Leafeon. However, Mame is going to be depositing some Eos energy. No, great little stop by Miva on the Slowbro to stop the Lapras from scoring.
This is where that map awareness is key. Having eyes on your opponents, knowing where they are and where to stop them. But Lapras Express does end up coming on in. It is trying to get that stun, and now the Hydro Typhoon also gets being popped out.
It knocks out multiple targets, and Tempest is looking for one specific one to pull that Horn Leech away. Miva is brought down to a whole lot of low HP, but great little surf. Zacian caught in that one, but Blitz assists us to keep that Zacian up and running. They charge away, utilizing the Unite move. However, the Leafeon has earned the first KO. Sui is down for over 20 seconds, and now OMO Abyssinian is turning their attention towards the Rayquaza. Kui is here, but they are at such low HP.
They are at such low HP, but thankfully they do have a Hooper by their side. Are they going to take the portal? No, they are not. Rayquaza is super duper low, but we do have Slowbro. They being taken down.
Mame pumping up here for OYASUMI Makuro, keeping Japan's hope of a championship alive. Rayquaza brought down, and it is secure. It is going to be OMO ABYSSINIAN who secures that main objective. APAC East grabs the Ray.
Holy moly, I feel like that last 20 seconds just went on forever, and you hear the crowd go wild as they dunk in their points. 100 points go in. Blissey trying to defend, take them out. Oh my goodness, Zoinks!
Time is up, and only one of these teams is moving on. And with that pop-up, it is OMO ABYSSINIAN. They have knocked out so many incredible teams, and add OYASUMI Makuro to that list. OMO is going to be in grand finals.
Holy macaroni, that was intense. 288 to 172. That was such a nail-biting final stretch.
So close to call. It felt like everyone just had such low HP in that final fight. And when it comes down to those clutch situations, it's OMO time and time again that pull away for an incredible fight. OYASUMI Makuro will be going home in that third place position, and you can see on stage, obviously, the emotions are running high, but we have to give this team their flowers. An incredible run, dealing with a lot in that top 8 bracket, having such an incredible day here. Ending in third place is something that needs to be respected, and a round of applause for OYASUMI Makuro.
Can I just say, well deserved as well to make a top 3. That is pretty incredible. But as these teams do shake hands, say goodbye, honestly, I need to look at that highlights package because that was insane. There was just so much to break down.
Yeah, that final fight, I think, is one that we will look back on in just months from now to review again and again. OMO ABYSSINIAN, this team from APAC East, proving to everyone that this region needs to be put on the map. This team in particular have that championship material, and with a victory here on main stage against OYASUMI Makuro, well, what an incredible way to do it. We are going to be jumping into a review of that last minute of the game because I gotta see it again.
Look, there's no time to breathe here, Zoinks.
Absolutely.
We need to look at this. There was obviously just so much happening, so messy, trying to take down that Rayquaza, but there were just so many fights happening.
Yeah, this match was defined by little 1v1 engagements. I believe the Leafeon kicks things off with a KO onto the Inteleon at some point here. You can see Lewis just really playing around the bottom side of this Rayquaza pit. Jay Rapson with an aggressive Hoopa Unite move, getting a couple of stuns, makes things a little bit dangerous, and there it is, that 1v1 win from Lewis, and they're able to escape all the way back up to the top path. I think they were even able to back half of the situation. No, they actually retreat towards the team fight.
Yeah, but you could see that Lapra's going in and getting that back half. We had OYASUMI Makuro that were in the lead.
Yeah, it's been so incredible to watch this team fight yet again. What a match from OMO ABYSSINIAN. And look at these final moments. Mommy getting a KO streak of 2 there for a second. OYASUMI Makuro saw it happening. The knock up there, but the final hit goes towards the Glaceon. Really a challenge between Shua and Yume to see who can secure that one. And the Glaceon comes out on top. APAC East comes out on top.
They did come out on top, but it isn't the very top just yet, as they still have those grand finals. But you know what? I think these teams, they need a breather. I think you need a breather. I think I need a breather. We all need a breather.
We will in a moment. I mean, obviously, rest will be given eventually, but ain't no rest for OMO ABYSSINIAN. They need to rally back quickly because they have a salty run back opportunity against Luminosity Gaming here very soon. It is going to be a grand finals that is APAC East versus North America. Japan out at third after a very, very impressive here at our World Championships.
Look, I still think OYASUMI Makuro, they should be proud to represent their region. But let's have a look at the championship bracket right now. We have OMO ABYSSINIAN. They are having such a great run through this losers final, obviously getting knocked down by Luminosity. So they are going to be able to have a chance and run it back in the grand finals.
Just in case anyone is unfamiliar with our format, grand finals will be a best of 5, but since Luminosity has not dropped a match in our grand finals yet, they're going to have winner's side advantage, meaning that OMO ABYSSINIAN will not need to win just